Hey, Lori here. I'm back to do my May reading wrap up. I think that when the day I'm posting this, it's actually May 1st. But the way that I split my TBR this month is three different ways. I have the two books I'm gonna read for the Time Warp YA book club that I run. The link is always in the description box. It's also middle grade May on one of the groups I'm in, the TBR and Beyond reading group on Facebook that I love to participate in all their challenges. So I do have a bunch of like middle grade books that I'm going to talk about first, and these are mostly for the challenges, but also books that I just have had on my TBR for a while, and books that I tend to read a little bit faster because they're that I the pacing just I tend to get through them a lot faster. So I did add a bunch. I probably won't get through them all, and a lot of these books will probably go for like multiple challenges. So my goal is just to complete all the challenges, which I think is very very doable. And then I just have other books on my TBR that are not middle grade, but ones that are pretty much all carryovers from the month of April. So it's gonna be a long video. We at the time of this filming, we are still in quarantine. We don't know when we're getting out of quarantine, so I'm just hopeful that I can get through a lot of books, especially because BEA and BookCon got canceled. So I have a lot more time, and I'm not going to be getting any books until at least the earliest would be October if we do wind up having New York City Comic Con. But let's dive into the books that I'm going to focus on for the middle grade part of my reading month. Yes. The first book is actually the group book, and that's Ghost Squad by Claribel Ortega. This one was on my April TBR, and I just think the back is so cute. It's be prepared, respect the dead, and always have a cat. And I just thought that was so cute, and I just think it's a really, really cute read. And I normally love books by Scholastic. So yeah, I just think that this is about malicious spirits. And the last little line made me smile. With the family dynamics of Coco and the action-packed adventure of Ghostbusters, Claribel Ortega delivers with a thrilling and spooky, delightful, sweet debut novel. So if I really hope to read this month, but if not, I might also read it around Halloween. Another book that I'm super excited for, actually, its due date got pushed, but that is Seekers of the Wild Realm by Alexandra Ott. This was supposed to come out in June and is now coming out in July. But this is kind of like an adventure story. It's about a little girl named Bryn who she's always wants to become a seeker. I think something goes wrong and then she kind of gets thrust into that world anyway. This is like, but I have had so much success with books from Aladdin recently. The Keeper of the Lost Cities is from Aladdin. Casper Talk and the Everdark Wings is from Aladdin. So I'm hopeful that this becomes another fan favorite, and it also fulfills one of the challenges because there's an animal on the cover. Like a fantastical animal, but an animal nonetheless. So this is one that I really hope to get to, especially now that the release date is pushed. I would love to give you guys like an early review if I can. Another one that I picked up from ALE was Aster and the Accidental Magic by Tom Pinko and Kara Sack. And this was one that I was really excited for. They have recently started a new graphic debut launch. And I don't know much about it, but I know that this book is in full color, and I hope to read it pretty fast and give you guys my thoughts because it's really, really cute. And then, as always, send my thoughts back to the publisher. But it looks cute. I know that there's a little puppy there, which a canine companion, and I think it has to do with magic. And I love books that have to do with magic, so no shock there. And then another book that I wanted picking up was The Midnight Hour, which is I think I also got this one from ALA. But this is just another magic fantasy book. I really don't need to know much about it. This cover was one that really, really struck me as being like, ooh, I need that. That I think has been Big Ben. It follows a girl named Emily. And then there's a secret society she winds up getting caught up in. So again, secret societies, middle grade, I'm hooked. Another book that I added to this TBR was Curse of the Night Witch by Esmeralda by Alex Aster. I think I met her. Did I? Yes, I did. I did actually wind up meeting her. But this is another. I'm just gonna read you guys the little thing. A fast-paced action series, perfect for the fans of Arusha on the end of time, filled with adventure and mythology, and an unforgettable trio of friends. I normally love books that have trios of characters, and I know that this is like a diverse author book. Yeah, I'm really excited and hope that I like this. And this was from Source Books, and it's coming out in June. Another book that I wound up adding to my TBR was The Last Chance Hotel by Nikki Thornton. This is one that my friend Sarah gave to me. It's actually book. There's two books out. And I think that it has to do with a young boy who winds up working at like a hotel, and then like a group of magical people wind up coming, and there's maybe like a murder, and the three words on the back are magical murder mystery. So that's exciting. And this has been out for a while, but I remember my friend Sarah really liked it, and she doesn't always read a lot of middle grade, so if she says it's worth a read, it definitely is. And then I wind up also picking up a copy of Kiddo Kids: The Mystery of the Masked Medalist. This was a book that is written by the Shabani twins, who are the Olympic gold medalists, I think. I can't remember. No, they won 2 bronze medals in the Olympics. This book actually got pushed. It was supposed to come out in May, but it's actually coming out in September, probably due to the Olympics that aren't happening until 2021. But this is the first books in a Moon Mystery series. Join the Kudo Kids as they cheer on the best athletes in the world, explore the sights of Tokyo, and try tasty new foods, all while racing to the top of the Olympic leaderboard. And that's fun. I love them. So I love like when athletes kind of write novels, and hopefully I like it. And the last middle grade book that I put in this thing was it would not be a middle grade TBR without Keeper of the Lost Cities on it. And this is Keeper of the Lost Cities Legacy, which is the last book out in that series. I liked Flashback. I didn't love it, and I'm hopeful that this book might like kind of expand it and maybe go in a direction that I more want the series to go in. But this is definitely a longer read. This book has about 800 pages, but I said this before, I tend to read these books super fast. So these are all the middle grade books that are on my TBR, and now I'm going to show you guys the non-middle grade books on my TBR. So I would say like 90% of these books, where most of them were on my April TBR, so I'm not going to talk a lot about them unless that they're new, but my April TBR kind of fell off the rails because I was reading a lot of stuff that I didn't like plan on reading. But I still really enjoyed everything that I read, but they weren't necessarily the books that I planned on reading, and a lot of them were library reads. So the first book that I still want to read is Scavenge the Stars from Tara Sim. This was the Owl Crate book for the month of January that I still need to read. I have not been being good about reading my Owl Crate books, but I'm hopeful to catch up, and most of the books that came out are actually pretty short. And this is a Count Monte Cristo retelling. I think it's in space, if I'm remembering. Yeah, I think it's a gender swap retelling of Count Monte Cristo. It was packed with high stakes adventure, romance, dueling identities, breathtaking betrayals, and all academically woven together by acclaimed author Tara Sim. I feel like it is in space, but I could be wrong. But I know that it's a Count Monte Cristo retelling. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited. This is probably the only book that I know when I'm gonna read it, and it's probably gonna be the weekend of Memorial Day, which is like right the weekend that BookCon was supposed to be, and I will probably read this one during that weekend. I actually had planned to read this during the reading rushathon, but it just didn't happen. So I'm actually probably gonna save this for later in the month, but I definitely do want to read it because Lord knows I'm gonna need some book that makes me feel like I'm at a comic book convention, because right now that's just not happening in the world we're living in. But I know this is about a girl. They're in like a zombie con, or they go to like a zombie conference, and then the zombie apocalypse actually happens. That sounds so cool, and I really hope that I enjoy it. And I got this at New York City Comic Con last year. Another book that I had for my TBR last month was We Are the Wildcats by Siobhan Vivian. I heard really, really good things about this, and I picked this up at ALA. Another book that was on my TBR last month was The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. Again, this has been on every single TBR since I got it since the beginning of the year. I really hope to finally get to it. Another one that was on my TBR last month was Shadowed Between Us by Trisha Levisera. I recently read Warrior in the Wilds and loved it, so I really hope that I like this one as well. And Alessandra has 3 goals: woo the Shadow King, marry him, and kill him, and take the kingdom for herself. So these are 3 books that were on my TBR for the month of April that I just never got around to reading. Another one is one that I actually just picked up, and that is The Royal We by Heather Cooks and Jessica Morgan. And this is kind of like a take on, Kate Middleton and Prince William. It's like our version of it. And I know they're coming out with a sequel this year, and I know that she like flew through this, and I really do like the Royal, so hopefully I like it. It's a bit of a chunky book. It's about 500 pages, but I know that she said that it was like a really, really quick read, so hopefully I like it. This book has been on my TBR since January, and that is Chosen by Kiersten White. I really hope to finally read it this month. I really, really love Buffy. I love the first book in the series. hope that I like this one equally as much, but it's been on my TBR for a while, so we'll see if I actually. Sorry, I'm just throwing my books on the floor, but I will pick them up. Another one that is from last week is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobbs. I really want to try to diversify my reading habits a little bit now that I'm home and just want to try to expand it. So this is just a pure adult fantasy series that I really hope that I like. Reagan from Peruse Projects has really been hyping it up recently, and I do have the first 3, so I figured I would try to add this one to my TBR. And it actually fits perfectly in my TBR card. Another book that I think got pushed was Chasing Starlight by Tessa Bailey Black. And this is a murder mystery book set in, I feel like it's 1930s. It's movies, mansions, and murder in the golden age of Hollywood. I feel like this was supposed to come out in June, but I think it got pushed to August. But I really am excited for like a thriller, and I love books about Hollywood, and I love murder mysteries, and I've actually been reading a lot more historical fiction lately, and this cover is so pretty. And this is another book that was on my TBR from last month. That is Unravel the Dusk, which is the sequel to Spin the Dawn. I really wound up really enjoying Spin the Dawn, so I hope I actually wind up liking Unravel the Dusk as well. This one is another one that's been on my TBR for a while, and that's Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is another book that Reagan from Peruse Project like turned me onto, and I really hope that I finally get around to reading it. And then the last 2 are a little bit different. This is Sound of the Stars by Alicia Dow. I think this probably already came out because it came out in February. But I don't even know what this book is about. But I just have to say, this tagline, and when I saw this at ALA, I like grabbed it. It was can the girl with the forbidden library and the alien who loves pop music work together to save the world? I don't know what this book's about, but I'm totally here for it. So this one is one that I really hope to get to soon. And this cover is so pretty. I don't keep ARCs, but I actually might actually wind up keeping this one. I love this color scheme so much. And the last book that's on my TBR is going to make my friend Justin very, very happy. And it's Born at Midnight by CC Hunter. I fell down a very, very deep rabbit hole into Legacies, which is a TV show. But this is kind of like a similar premise. It kind of reminds me of like Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy and the Shadowhunter world. But I think it's like a camp for kids that are like supernatural, which sounds right up my alley. And I know that there's a lot of books in this series, so if I like it, I'll probably slowly start reading them. But yeah, this was a really, really long video. These are all the books I'm going to be pulling from for my May TBR. Let me know in the comments what are your some goals for reading in May, and I'll talk to you later. And I hope you guys are staying safe and being well, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.